Hey everyone, today I'm here with Pam Garee of Coldwell Banker in Southern New Hampshire. How are you, Pam?
I'm great, thank you.
Great. It's good to meet you even over the computer like this. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Southern New Hampshire market. Starting off though with you, a little bit of your background, how you ended up in New Hampshire.
Okay, sure. So I've been licensed for 16 years. I started out my real estate career in central Massachusetts area. I worked for a couple smaller mom and pop brokerages. I started in Easton, Mass. Then I went up to the Worcester, Mass area. I was licensed and worked out of the Shrewsbury Coldwell Banker office for a few years. Then I went down to Long Island, New York for 8 years, and just recently came back to New Hampshire a little over a year ago, mostly for family reasons.
Okay, so you know the area definitely then. Which
Yeah,
is
I was born and raised in New England. I grew up in Rhode Island, Massachusetts area, so I'm very familiar with New England.
okay, terrific. Thank you. There is a lot of what I've noticed anyway, a lot of migration upwards to the southern New Hampshire counties from Massachusetts. I suspect
Absolutely.
that may have something to do with the pricing of real estate in this area. Plus, our market is very, very hot. But from what I've heard, the market up there in New Hampshire hasn't really suffered too much, even though we've had some issues with COVID recently. So it seems like it's still a very active market up there. So I just kind of wanted to hear from you a bit about a summary of New Hampshire, what draws people to New Hampshire and some of the benefits, why people would want to move there, but just a bit of an overview of the market as well, too. So in case someone's considering moving to New Hampshire, they might have a better sense of what the market's like up there.
Sure. So I would love to talk about the market up there, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that New Hampshire is has one of the most popular and most noted state mottos, which is "Live Free or Die." So anybody from New Hampshire is proud to say that they live in the "Live Free or Die" state.
Mhm.
A couple interesting things about New Hampshire, just factoids
Mhm.
that some people might be unaware of, is that silly stuff like riding in the back of a pickup truck is permitted. I don't know if that was me or you.
Okay.
Um, Open carrying of a firearm is permitted in the state of New Hampshire. You can ride a motorcycle without a helmet. And you also, if you're over the age of 18, can drive in a car without a seatbelt. So a little bit of strange nuances, but we are the live free or die state.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes. So let me talk a little bit about New Hampshire. So you're, I know, in the Massachusetts area, and the area that we're in, my office specifically in Bedford, is very close to the Massachusetts border. We do service Hillsborough County, Merrimack County, and even Rockingham County. So it's interesting because we have seen a migration of people from Massachusetts coming up into New Hampshire. So we do have a lot of people that are coming from Massachusetts into the lower New Hampshire area. I believe a lot of that has to do with there is no state income tax,
Mhm.
and there's also no sales tax.
Okay.
But believe me, you can make up for it with the property taxes. So those tend to be a little bit higher than other areas of the country.
Okay. All right. So they make up for it in some ways to get funding for the public works and all
Mhm.
that. You mentioned Merrimack County. I assume Merrimack, Massachusetts, or is there a Merrimack, New Hampshire County?
There is a Merrimack, New Hampshire, yes.
Yeah, see, that's why I do these things. I learn so much more about my neighboring states. Okay, that's good. So you cover several counties.
What would you like me to touch on next?
Well, what you could do now is what I'm interested in learning from you is about some of the price points in that market, some of the market activity, like if there are different towns that, some people say, what could I get for 250, 500, or 750?
Okay,
Go over that.
all right, that sounds good. So one of the things that I would like to mention before we segue into that, we're in a very desirable area. Part of the reason is there's a very heavy economic stability in the area. So there's some large employers. So we do get a lot of relocation as well, in addition to those kind of Massachusetts people who are migrating up here. So a lot of people work for Fidelity. They have a large headquarter here. Of course, is University of Southern New Hampshire, which is a large employer, Southern New Hampshire Medical Systems, and then the largest, third largest defense contractor in the world, which is BAE Systems. It's a global defense company, also has several offices in Southern New Hampshire. So we do see a lot of out-of-state people coming in addition to the migrants coming up from Massachusetts as well. So that has really impacted the housing market. It has remained very strong, and despite of, even in despite of COVID, we've been very busy. So do you mind if I screen share and I just kind of show you a little bit of information that might be helpful to people who are?
Yes, definitely. That'd be helpful.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to just go onto my desktop. Can you see that, David?
Perfect. Thank you. I see market trends, single family home, Hillsborough.
Perfect. Okay, so this is just, this is kind of the last 12 months, and this is specifically Hillsborough County. So the office that I primarily work out of, which is Bedford, is in Hillsborough County. So I wanted to just kind of paint a picture not only of Bedford, but of Hillsborough County as well. So you can see here, this is the last 12 months. So on average, you can see down the bottom, the sold average price in the area is usually in the low to mid and sometimes dips into the high 300s. So that's basically what our average price point is in Hillsborough County. What's even more interesting is if you look at the month supply. So when I sit with somebody, particularly a homeowner, to explain what the month supply is, what that really represents is what the chance of selling is for houses that go on the market. So in a typical market, a balanced market is about a 6-month supply of homes. And in a seller's market, it's about 1 to 3 months supply of homes, with a buyer's market being closer to 6 months. You can see down in the bottom, we've been hovering at 1 month supply of homes for the last 3 months since COVID hit. So when homes go on the market in this area, they sell very quickly, often within, the first week of it being on the market.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's the light blue line that we see on the screen there, which is the months of supply. That's interesting. So it's about 1 recently since COVID, and that's kind of similar to Massachusetts. So that's interesting to see that. And then the average price has gone up. I see. It looks like.
And the average price has gone up a little bit, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And a lot of that has to do, obviously, with the supply, which we just don't have this, the supply of homes. Okay. So let me just flip forward to Bedford, which is where the office is that I'm in. So we have, you can see Bedford is, so let me just tell you a little bit about Bedford, if you don't mind. Bedford is only about 50 miles from Boston, and we're also adjacent to the state's largest city, which is Manchester. Bedford is viewed, as a very upscale residential town, a population of about 22,000. Regarding the school district, they have a desirable school district here. Bedford School District ranks better than 96% of all school districts in New Hampshire. So we do have a draw to this town for that reason, as well as the close proximity to some of those employers that I had mentioned earlier. So speaking specifically to Bedford, you can see the average list price for the last 12 months, anywhere between 500,000 up to as high as 638,000. And we're less than a 1 month supply of homes on the market right now. So Bedford for the last 12 months has definitively been a seller's market, is usually a seller's market, but even more so with the last 12 months. And as you can see from the graph.
Yeah, compared to the county, there's a big difference then in terms of price and the months on the market. I'm curious, it's about 50 miles or so from Boston.
It is.
Are there a lot of people who commute to Massachusetts businesses then, if they're kind of close? You're off of Route 3, is that it?
We're off of Route 3, and we do have a lot of people that do transfer down, or commute rather, down into the Massachusetts area definitively. in even Hanscom Air Force Base, a little bit further west outside the 128 belt, and, even down inside the 128 belt. People will go as far as Waltham, into that area.
Okay. All right. It's doable then for people to move up there because those are good prices for the Boston area, but I know it's on the higher end, it seems, for New Hampshire, right?
It is on the higher end, and again, it is very commutable.
Yeah.
And the school district and the proximity, yes, has made it a higher price point town than some of the more bedroom communities to the Nashua and Manchester area.
I get you. Okay, this is good. All right then. So this is very helpful. It gives a sense of at least one of the counties and one of the towns in there. Do you have any other samples of different homes that have sold at different price points? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I do. And I just wanted to point one more thing out, which is one
Sure.
of the reasons why we are seeing that, that such low supply is, for everybody in the real estate world. We're very excited that for the first time in 50 years, interest rates have dipped below 3%. So that has really brought the buyers out in droves, really competing to get into homes to take advantage of that interest rate.
Okay.
And then just really quickly,
Sure.
just to touch on the interest rates again, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, National Association of Realtors, and the Mortgage Bankers Associations have all said that the interest rates are going to stay low into 2021. And not only that, but home prices are going to continue to appreciate. So all good news on the home front.
Good.
So let me just touch a little bit on Bedford, if you don't mind, David.
Sure.
I just wanted to give you an example of what you could buy, depending on what your budget is, just to kind of give you a feel. And again, Hillsborough County is a big county, and we do touch a few other counties as well. So this house just recently closed, as you can see, on June 29th, and it sold for $270,000. This was in Bedford. It was a 1.5 acre lot, just over 1,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths.
Nice. Okay.
And this was a $500,000 house that sold actually just last week, July 31st. It was a 2,500 square foot home on a 1.5 acre lot, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, contemporary home built in 1983. And that sold for just under $500,000. And you can see there the taxes are $8,500.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
And lastly, this is another home that sold, $1.1 million. It was a 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath, 5,000 square foot home, beautiful house with an in-ground swimming pool in the backyard. And this was built in 1999, a colonial, and it sold again for $1.1 million. So it's just kind of a representation of the Bedford market specifically.
Very good. And in general, the days on market, what is it like up there for a home? How long typically are they on? They go off they're listed Thursday and they're sold
3 days.
Sunday, right? Yeah.
3 days.
Okay, so a buyer moving into the area just would need to be aware that it's not necessarily an agent pushing them. It's just that the pace of the market is quite quick.
Yes, it is. And it's really just an inventory supply issue. It's, we need more houses. We need more builders building new homes. That would be, fantastic. That would be the perfect scenario for us.
Okay, very good then. So that sounds like quite a robust market up there in the area. Good. Anything else you wanted to add about Southern New Hampshire? Or?
Absolutely. I'd love to talk about the state of New Hampshire.
Sure.
So one of the things that really draws people to New Hampshire, we have excellent medical care and unbelievable outdoor and recreational activities. So there's a big draw to New Hampshire, particularly for the outdoor enthusiasts. So downhill skiing, cross-country skiing. We have more than 48 mountains in New Hampshire that are over 4,000 feet. So a lot of people, try to get their badge of honor by climbing all the 4,000 footers in the White Mountains. Yeah. And, we have over 1,000 lakes.
Mhm.
A lot of them you're probably familiar with Lake Winnipesaukee, which is very famous for the movie On Golden Pond was filmed there, as well as What About Bob?
Yeah.
Squam Lake, Winnisquam, Newfound Lake are some of the more popular ones. A
Mhm.
lot of people vacation there from all over the United States.
Mhm.
Boating, fishing, whitewater rafting, camping, hunting. A lot of hunters come up into the area, people to go RVing. We have the New Hampshire Speedway in Loudon. So for people who are, NASCAR enthusiasts, that's a big draw. So there's a lot to do, and what to your heart's content, really. All within, and we're close to Boston, so that's the best part. We can go down to Boston for a day, go down to Providence, it's not too far, and from the southern tip of New Hampshire to the northern tip, it's only about a 4-hour drive.
Okay, so it's a lot that you can do, just get in your car and go and enjoy life. I know it's a very popular day trip destination for people in Massachusetts, like the White Mountain Parks up there are absolutely beautiful. I remember as a kid we had family living in Southern New Hampshire as well too. So it's a good neighbor.
It is.
Yeah, good neighbor. All right.
And there's some good colleges too. Dartmouth University. We have some technical schools here. The University of Massachusetts, College of Pharmacy is here.
Mhm.
It's a great place to live. And I would certainly recommend it. If anybody's thinking of moving into the New Hampshire area, certainly there's homes that can fit into your price point, that would check all the boxes. In terms of thinking about New Hampshire and calling New Hampshire home, I think the quality of life quotient, so to speak, is very high.
Mhm. That's terrific. Well, this was a lot of great information. Thank you, Pam, for your time today. If someone wanted to reach out to you and learn a little bit more about opportunities in New Hampshire, what would be the best way for them to reach you?
I think they should just call me directly on my phone. I'm always just a phone call away, and my number is 603-554-0141.
Okay,
And I
great.
hope if you're in the area, David, you'll look me up so I can, show you what New Hampshire has to offer.
Would love to, definitely. Thank you for the invitation. I'll take you up on that sometime.
I love it.
Great. Well, this was wonderful. Thank you again for your time and have a great day.
Thank you.